Hi, I'm Anthony Analetta with Sonny's The Car Wash Factory, and today we're checking out Papa Bear Car Wash in Anderson, South Carolina. A business that in just 15 months has already passed $4.5 million in revenue and signed up over 7,100 monthly members. It's an exciting story about what happens when you invest in delivering an exceptional customer experience. Let's meet BJ Davis and Ashton Hines to learn how they transform this old car wash location into a real winner.
I grew up in around Lake Lanier, Georgia. First job type deal. Ended up growing to be Margaritaville at Lanier Islands and being an operations manager there. It's funny how it all translates to the car wash business, and my hospitality background actually worked really well for this side and the customer service piece and creating that wow experience for the customer.
Out of high school, my plans were to go to college and get a 4-year degree in business, and I ended up falling in love with the business. And the car wash business, as most people know, it really is a family. The culture that was built in the car wash industry was a culture that I knew would be for me.
If you ask anybody in Anderson, South Carolina, the staple pieces that we're right next door to Grady's Great Outdoors. We got a Lowe's and Home Depot right across the street. There's a mall right down the road. I mean, this is just a highway. 85's right there. It's an easy shot to get over there. I think the vehicle count per day on Clemson Boulevard here is 32,800 cars a day that travel by the car wash. So it's a prime location. It's a good spot.
Papa Bear's first location was potentially a demographic winner, but it had some real challenges. The footprint of the building demanded that the back room be built on top of the tunnel to provide enough space for proper vehicle flow. Then the opportunity arose to purchase the adjoining lot with a small oil change business on there. They jumped on it, they bulldozed the building, and they made room for even more free vacuums on the backside of the property. The additional space helped them demand comparatively higher price points for superior service.
So originally when we bought this car wash, the reason it is 2 stories. So it was 2 stories, not because we wanted, just to be the, in some ways the oddball of that, but it was because of space. So this lot, when we bought it, was very short but semi-long, and so we knew the best way for us to, build out and serve our customers was to have as many vacuums as possible, so we went up rather than more wide. And then about 6 months into our construction process, I already had our permitting and everything. It was a small oil change place, which is where our canopy is now for extra vacuums. That was not ours. Like, we did not own that. And so that was a huge obstacle. We knew that with the amount of traffic that we had here, we wanted more vacuums, but that was our land that we had bought allowed for it. And so then we went through, the whole step-by-step of purchasing that, and then the tear down and going through all the inspection phases. And so we need to add, and we knew that vacuums was the answer to that.
Thank God we purchased that property. I don't know that we'd be doing the volume that we are today if you have just the vacuums that we have on this side. I just don't see how you could do it. And even today, there's sometimes I wish we had more vacs, One of the first couple things that we did from an investment piece was, obviously we put all the equipment in, right? We weren't going to skimp. We were gonna have every bell and whistle, anything that was new out, we got. And we were not gonna sacrifice quality in any stretch of the imagination by, deciding not to do a grill brush or not to do the ninja brush or whatever. Like, we thought that they all added value, and that's what we did. The way our tunnel is laid out, the first thing that you're gonna hit is that honey glaze, right? That beautiful sheet. We got the G&G lighting behind it, right? So that lights up that, it's kind of like an orangish, yellowish. I mean, it looks like honey pouring on your car. It's a really cool feature. And then we go straight into, CTAs and cleaning tires with the Cobra brush. The way it oscillates to get deep into the rims is a masterful piece. We have those grill brushes, that I was scared of at first. I'd never seen them before, and they've been really easy, and just to get that extra step to get those bugs off the front of the car, those wraps the wraps just don't meet in the middle, like these grill brushes do, and they get full coverage on the front of that vehicle. We have our entrance and exit wraps. We've got the dual counterweight top brush next. That kind of whole section. And then we've got our Omnis, and then we've got another top brush that comes down. It's just a regular compact top brush. just that last little bit of cleaning right before we hit our ceramic. We just want that, we want that water breaking, you know, from a chemistry standpoint right after that point, so that when our ceramics go on, our hot wax, our drying agent, and all that hits in that freaking awesome arcade, you know, that is like really its own showpiece, a tunnel within a tunnel, if you will. It's a difference maker. That arcade to me is, you know, you don't have to have the confirmation signs anymore. We use that as our confirmation sign. That's what you're getting. And if the light doesn't come on, the customer call, you know, they know about it, you know, and they're like, oh, hey, how do I get those lights to come on? It's like, well, let's upgrade your package and you can check it out. After that, you know, we've got 15 blowers and all set of different variations so that we're pushing water off the car in a way where it really runs off the car, right? And you gotta have good chemistry to do that, and you gotta be dialed in. Otherwise, you start micro beading and stuff like that. But our tire shine comes in after that, and then we have the buff and try just to get whatever little water is left on. I think a buff and dry is a must have, you know, it's just a finisher. When you talk about chemistry, I think about when graphene like first rolled out, and we were like one of the first sites to get it, and just how amazing the car looked after adding it to the packages. And it was like, okay, you know, you have 4 packages, we're expanding to 5. Now we're giving the customer all these choices, right? But when you can tell the difference between each package, it changes the game. When I can show you a ceramic car and I can show you a graphene car and I can show you the wet shine with the car being dry, it's a major difference. And I think you only get that with the Diamond Shine products that we have. They all work together. They're all from the same product line. We're not mixing chemical midway through the tunnel. They're meant to be together, and that's how we use them. It's been interesting, like having the back room up top, you know, like we are limited on space. So I think that this portion right here is the cookout side, if you will, is like 0.77 or something like that. Not enough to be able to put the back room on the side of the building like it typically would be. So we put it on top. Once we're open, like the guys don't know any different, you know? Like we don't know any different. Like this is just how we operate. We have an elevator, we get the chemical up. But with the Sunny system too, on the MCC, like we have control down here. So I don't have to run upstairs to turn something off. I can turn it off from, you know, inside the kiosk or inside the tunnel if we need to.
One of the coolest things that, you know, that I've seen happen especially in the car wash industry over the last several years is license plate recognition, LPR. For me personally, I really do think that it's taken this industry, and especially our business model, to the next level.
For us, because we value speed, right? I think it's so important that the customer can come through and in 4 or 5 clicks, sign up for a pass. We wanted to design the packages so that the customer gets the value within 2 washes. So for last month, for instance, 58% of our business was memberships. So over 50% of our packages that we sell are our top 3 packages. The top 3 packages at price points of $49.99, $39.99, and $29.99. You know, our average, our membership value number, I think is $28.71 or something like that. Between both stores, and over 7,100 members in a year and a couple months. Customers want to spend time taking care of their vehicle, right? You can put all the signs out that say 10 minutes, 20 minutes, nobody's kicking anybody out of a vacuum space, right? And we've created an experience in our lot. And to me, with the chemical stands that we have there, we pretty much give them everything they need to detail their car right there on the spot. They don't have to walk but to the front of their car. So customers spend longer time in the vac spaces, and you don't get to where we are today without that experience.
Papa Bear made a commitment to excellence with their chemistry, their equipment, and their site. And it's paid off, literally. They strategically bought the best chemicals, installed the best equipment, and even bought the site next door to elevate the value in the customer experience that they could deliver. The same commitment to excellence continues with their staff, recruiting and training, and the compensation, and also the brand reinforcement.
Creating a culture that can be sustained by the people that you hire. I know that seems like a lot here, but for us, is if we're not hiring the right people to sustain and keep and allow us to help building a culture in the business that we have, we're not going to grow to the pace that we want to, but also they're not going to hire folks in the same degree that we want them to.
We have about 40 employees total between the two sites. We operate on a given weekend, let's say, we open with 5, we'll have 2 mids come in and we'll close with 5 people. It's very important to us that we are accessible to the customer. We don't ever want a customer to be on site and not be able to talk to an employee.
Papa Bear made the tough decision to raise their prices by $2 across the board in the first year, mainly because of increased costs and compensation to the employees. The results surprised even them. With no fall off in car counts, the price increased. Customers continued to see the value in the higher price point, and the profitability kept climbing.
So if you look at Q1 of 2022, when we first opened this store, we were averaging about $12.54, okay? If you look at Q1 this year, we're averaging $13.44. And I think that averages out to $12.77, like a trailing 12 months, $12.77 a car, and to me, I guess that's good. I guess I don't know any different really, but for us, I think that's an important number to track, because we've shown that, hey, we did a price raise, right? We went from $10 to $12 and we raised everything up $2. And I think that's an important thing to look at is we were able to add, just under $1 per vehicle. Over 20,000 vehicles, it's just math at that point, right? You're adding money to the bottom line. And that first week that we did that changeover to adding the $2, it was not a big deal because of the value add, because of the prep, because of the added employees, because of what we do on the lot. To me, they didn't even blink an eye.
Papa Bear Car Wash is a case study in ROI and best in class. They made the strategic decision to go with the best for their customers at every turn. And as a result, have membership numbers and average wash numbers that are beyond excellent.
I was sitting here about 2 months ago in the parking lot. We'd already closed. All of our employees had left, and I got emotional, and I was thinking, I'm grateful, right? So that's where I am is, man, I'm just so grateful. But one, I couldn't do it without our people. And then two, I've really started from the bottom. A lot of people say, how did you get here? I don't have a great story. I mean, I was a CSA that ended up doing marketing in a business and then went up. But for me is one thing that I really just wish people understood was you got to put in the work to see the results. And so for me, I'm grateful for the people that have given me the opportunity from the bottom all the way here, but also just the reality that this is what I get to do. And for me is, I firmly believe with what we have going here is something that I don't want to ever miss out on.
And I think today we do kind of the Papa Bear way, if you will. We've learned a lot and we've grown a lot. But I think when you put and you invest in and you get the best stuff, you're going to get the best product.
They've clearly put in the hard work and investment to get here, and the results speak for themselves. Hey, thanks for joining us, and as always, good luck and good washing.